Hello guys and welcome. In today's tutorial we'll be explaining further where we stopped on how to accept inputs into Angular component, especially presentational components. In our last video I explained the way to accept input into component using the input method. Today I'll be explaining the other pattern that we use in the previous Angular versions, which is known as input decorator. Let's jump right into it. So for this, I'll be making use of a new component just to separate it from the one that we have at the moment. So the first thing to do is, whenever you decide to accept inputs into your component using the input decorator, so the first thing to do is to import that decorator. So you basically you tag a property using that decorator. Then let's declare a variable name. Let's call it product also, and then the type is also a product. So we have a product here defined and exported. So that is what we are importing here. And that about the definition of this property and the component cs file. So the next thing is to use this property, this member, in the component file. So just a way to keep it short and simple, let's copy what we have in the previous form, in the previous way. So then let's copy the style too. And then of course we still having an issue here. So the first thing is, when we are using the newer way of accepting inputs into a component, so this gives us a signal, and because of that we are calling the signal method and accessing the property from the signal return from calling that method. So we have this method, then this method returns a signal, and we access our data from the objects returned. But in the case of the input property, we don't have signal. We don't have to access a signal before we access our data. As a matter of fact, we have our objects directly, so all we have to do is just access the property directly from the object. So say something like this, and something like this, and that's about that. Then just a final cleanup. Whenever you generate an Angular component, by default Angular will add app to the beginning of the selector name. Of course you can change this app into something else in your configuration, but that is not for now. So let's remove that app from there, and let's go to where we use all our components. So let's create another row. Let's call it just give an heading here. Let's impute decorator. Let's say card2, because that's the name of the property. So of the components, copy this into 3 places more. 1 2 3 4. Yes, we're still having trouble. Can you guess? Yes, you are right. So we are having this issue because this component has not been imported in the app component. So let's import that. Product card2, and the error is gone. So let's check in our browser if everything is working perfectly. As you can see, we have this here with Input Decorator, and the data still works the way we have it, using the newer way of accepting inputs into presentational components or any form of component that we want to accept input into. And that's that about today's tutorial. See you next time.